money, you're gonna feel different.
Straight up.
You might even, all that other advice I could have gave you, this is the short version. You know, get you a couple dollars, man. You're gonna feel different.
Thanks for that hustle. Big shout out to SPI, Spotter Low. You know, I'm in the black box, had to come through, tap in, show love one time. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Stay tuned, all that.
Shout out to Nate Do everything. It's like a Nate Do day. My homegirl, my assistant, my Google Gang member, my last 2 pieces of content. I sat down to go through the YouTube street to try to find something to react to. Looked up. She had texted me about the DeJean Paul thing. We did that. I was finna go back into the YouTube streets. She had sent me this with J-Bo. Shout out J-Bo, BMF, my low, my guy. The Ruler Report, my other low. Reporting on it, doing the heavy lifting. I don't know why she sent me this, why it's coming up. It's not new, but it's J-Bo talking about getting cracked with like $500 of them thing. So with no further ado, we finna see why Nate Dude chose to send this to me to share with you. Oh, my mama.
Well, at what point did you get the title of J-Bo?
It's when he had the white Benz. Smoking. I'm like, bro. I said, man, I've been with you, man. You see, I've been producing for you. Now, I got a way that you can make more money. You know what I'm saying? He's like, how is that? I say, well, you know what I'm getting for mine. You know what I'm saying? I say, what if you just make me your partner? You know, we getting them for 15. You can give them to me for, 16. 16.5. I'm gonna bring us back 26. And he looked at me like, hit the blunt. We rode for about 10 minutes. He ain't say nothing. I'm like, damn, I'm up. You know. He said, know what? I like how you think. I don't know. I think he blurted out like, hey, Junior Boss, J-Bo. He said, from here on out, I'm calling you J-Bo.
When it's time to get dough, I take off. Before the feds get the dough, I take off.
Naming niggas like that on a whim off a cuff and a sticking, real boss shit. Ask anybody been around me for some time. It just happens naturally. I'm gonna name a nigga. Rest in peace, Puto. Oh, blah, 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 like.
With all of the different ways that you can make money nowadays, it always baffles me when I see people who, made it out to life or had a chance to get out to life actually go back to doing the things that sent them to jail in the past. Now, in this particular situation, we have an individual who goes by the name of J-Bo, who was affiliated with BMF boss Big Meech. Now, after serving time for cases, associated with his affiliation with BMF, he would also catch a case a few years ago.
Roundup of drug mafia suspects by the U.S. Attorney's Office. Tonight, more than 24 of the Metro's biggest suppliers are off the streets. First Alert 4's Russell Kinsall is following this story tonight.
Yeah, Corey, according to federal prosecutors, this was a drug distribution and money laundering operation. One suspect even charged with fraudulently getting a PPP loan during the pandemic.
Yeah, there's even an accusation drug traffickers profited by applying for COVID relief loans. Those indicted include Carl Von Garrett, accused of laundering nearly $1 million of drug proceeds in a 3-month period. Tiffany Tiff BMF Nelson faces money laundering.
If you're talking that money talk, this after the whole big old thing. Cuz we're still finding ways to pull down a ticket every 90 days. Some niggas just be addicted, attracted to magnetic money.
Charges. Chad J-Bo Brown accused of submitting a fraudulent tax form to obtain a PPP loan.
Now, in my mind, after going through that with them, I would have been thinking like, hell, I know I'm hot. I know the police is watching me. There's only so much that I can do. Really, let me clean it up and go legit. Because, I got out the last time, and then I found myself right back in the situation. And in that particular case, they're naming BMF again. Let me go ahead and fall back and get to some of this legit money. But, unfortunately, like I said, he didn't do no time. So in 2026, he was still out. Now, there's a podcast on YouTube, and these individuals are former law enforcement agents who actually have come together to do a podcast. What they announced tonight about Chad J-Bo Brown, I don't think none of us was expecting to hear this.
We just got J-Bo, who is Chad Brown, and they got J-Bo with 53, what our experts believe to be 53 kilos of cocaine. Man, 3 pistols and approximately, $40,000-$50,000.
Now you mean to tell me this man, a dude that's doing interviews, this be crazy. A dude that's all over social media doing interviews and all this is like accepting the load 53 bricks, sitting on 40 bands and 3 pistols. And like, listen, I ain't got no issue with nobody having the money. I ain't got no issue with you having blick.
You know how this shit go, ruler. That shit addictive, bro. Some niggas would rather live and die that way and take it however it come than to try to switch up. There's an actual addiction to the process of getting that big money that you don't have to earn the right way. That's an addiction of its own, whether you jacking for it, scamming for it, it's an addiction. Young Miami, J-Bo trying to knock down the Young Miamis of the world.
You know what I mean? Protect yourself, man. But at what point do we stop trying to sell bricks? Like, you got to give it up at some point. Now, this man got himself in a situation.
The feds never forget a face. That's why I never understood why Aunt Hefe, why Auntie was on the internet talking about how allegedly financially established she was, and acting as if she had all this money with no legal way to prove of getting it, trying to call everybody else broke and sit up there and design her. Boy, I've heard Brick Baby say things online as far as getting money and being in hotels with bricks of money and stacks of bread and talking about getting 700,000 out the street. I'll just be like, damn, niggas is crazy.
Sure, J-Bo is in his 50s, right? He got himself in a situation to the point where, I mean, unless he tell on somebody and give us some significant information, he about to do the rest of his life in jail. Now, according to...
And I don't know about J-Bo's state of mind personally right now. It's a lot of people that are just taking on the chin, like, that's what I was in it for. Game over. Oh, my mama. It's like a nigga training for a bout, getting in that ring, getting knocked out. He came, oh, man, he knocked. Hey, I knew what the potential was when I knew the job was dangerous when you took it.
To, this podcast, they're saying that J-Bo actually, was already seen by a judge, as well as at this particular time, it seems as though he may be refusing to actually cooperate or talk to the investigators about whatever all is going on with this 53 bricks. This shit crazy.
And he was complainted on a Friday night.
Tell him what that means.
So when you get complained, a federal judge has to, you bring your evidence to a federal judge, and the federal judge looks at it, and if they believe that you have the probable cause evidence that this person needs to be held and arraigned in court, they'll do that. And then a lot of times, but if somebody wants to cooperate, they'll waive that portion.
Yeah.
But J-Bo says he
ain't talking
to nobody. But he is now, I don't know if he's still in custody. I don't know what the bond was set at, but he was complained last night, a Friday night. So even the judge stood behind and said, I'll stick around for J-Bo to get complained.
Yeah.
So
53 kilos.
So at this time, we don't know all the particulars in this case.
They could just be petty and give you 1 year per kilo, and it's over with. It's crazy. Yeah, I would have got me a hard hat, a fluorescent vest, some steel-toe boots, and got addicted to that kind of loot. Freedom is way more attractive and way more to be appreciated than any amount of money or material objects you could ever obtain.
Is that they're saying that he's currently locked up after getting hit by the strike force, the feds. And they found 53 bricks. Some outlets is even saying 60, but the podcast that allegedly has a connection to the individuals that actually did this bust is saying 53 bricks, $50,000, and 3 blicks. Now, I'm pretty interested to see if they're just like, if he's the only person that they arrested or that they associated with these bricks. Is there other people that possibly went to jail? Where was the work at? Where was all the details should come out soon, but I mean, at this
Nipsey also said they gave my homeboy 12. That was a sweet deal. I remember riding in the car with my son-in-law, and he was like, hey, Pops, do he mean like his homeboy got a deal in 12 years and that was a good, and he appreciated it. I'm like, hell yeah. And then my son, he ended up having to take 10 years. Kind of get it, right? Now, any of y'all who might have thought like 12 years, good deal. Do you know what if they came and knocked on J-Bo's cell right now and said, look, we got a deal for you today only 12 years, he gonna jump on it right now.
This point is sad to see that this old man, you know, because we old at this point, you know, we ain't young at all. They was young back when, you know, Meech and them was still doing their thing. At this point, everybody is 40 some years and old and up. Let's just keep it all the way a stack. So to actually still be getting loads of bricks coming in, especially 53 of them, is kind of crazy. Now keep in mind though, he still had other situations going on with the PPP loan stuff. Like, so that was after the Big Meech situation. And there's been other run-ins with, you know, law enforcement since then as well. So, I mean, it seems as though no matter what happened with J-Bo, he still was going to try to get to this money. Now, there was a clip of a video where he was talking about going to talk to kids about staying out of trouble.
I really don't want to see kids go to the places that I have already been. Right. So I went there and you know, the kids didn't really know who I was, so I had to tell them, like, yeah, I ever heard of, you know, the BMF.
They know who Meech.
Yeah, but when they seen, you know, I'm older now, so when they seen, they was like, man, who was this guy? You know what I'm saying? But I had to mention to them that, you know, I'm one of the BMF members, and I kind of caught their ear. You know, you got some out there laughing and joking in the stands. So I kind of like, hey, I think you guys should really listen to what I have to say because it can save you. You know what I'm saying? So I spoke to them, and it was probably about a good 30 or 40 students up in the stands. And I think when I got through talking to them, I had everybody's attention, especially when I told them things that they don't want to hear, like prison.
Now, some of y'all need to take this as a warning, man, that the game is over. You know, not even just that, you know, the technology situation out here, what's going on and trying to do illegal things and all the cameras and flock cameras and all of that stuff you got to try to outmaneuver. You know, the footprint of the digital footprint of your cell phone. All of these things that's tracking you. Not just that, though, but the money ain't even the same as it used to be back, you know, before. It's over with. You know, it's just one of those things that it's time for people to move on, especially someone that's almost kissing 50 some years old in the, you know what I mean? Like, at this point, nobody's going to be like, oh man, you know, free J-Bo or whatever. Like, it is what it is. If J-Bo beat this case, you know, more power to him. But if he go down and he got to do some time for this, man, he can't blame nobody but himself for this particular situation. Because again, it's too much legit money to get out here in the, you know what I mean, in the world. Why would I at, you know, 40, 50 some years old have to resort to selling dope? You selling dope when you're still trying to figure it out, when you're trying to like, all right, you know, this is temporary, this is for now, but at some point when you get that money, you know what I mean?
It's addictive, man. It's getting kind of redundant at this point. We know what it is. Yeah, we know why we ain't doing it, but we understand why some continue to do it too. Shame on them. I put the blame on them. Should have laid the game.
Get you some money, you're gonna feel different.
Straight up.
You might even, all that other advice I could have gave you, this is the short version. You know, get you a couple $, man. You're gonna feel different.
Hey, little Nip Hustle. Big shout out to SPI, Spotter Low. You know, I'm in the black box. Had to come through, tap in, show love one time. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Stay tuned. All that.